Hey everybody out there in the YouTube world, it's your boy the big influencer, Mr. No Stylist Needed, man. Now today we're going to be taking a look at some of my polo shirts and things, hats and shorts and stuff like that. And we talk a little bit about polo in Baltimore City in the 90s and stuff like that, man, when I was growing up. Now, when I was growing up in the 90s, man, polo really was like the shirt that you had to have in order to solidify your flyness. Like literally, just like you had to have the Timberland boots, the first down jackets, you had to have a crispy low. Now this is a particularly popular one in Baltimore back then because we like to do these with the Pradas. You know what I mean? The black with the red horse, black Pradas with the red Prada writing on them. But yeah, in the city, polo was like, you know, you never got a thumbs down with polo. Ralph was always acceptable when I was coming up, man. You get you a fresh pair of Butters, pair of New Balance or whatever, and a nice low, you was Gucci. It ain't really matter, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That horse means something. That horse really meant something back in the day, and all the girls knew. Ooh, he done spent a little 40, $50 on his t-shirt. You know what I mean? Robert versus just having on a white tee back in the day. If you had that low, you know what I mean? In a sense, this was almost like our designer back in the day, you know what I mean? Because Dolce Gabbana and Saint Laurent shoes and all that was unheard of in my age group back in the day when I was coming up. But if you had on a low, you was almost in designer. Like, it was even a time where dudes was getting robbed for their polo coats and stuff like that, man. You know, in Baltimore City. Shit. Back in the day, you know how very first day school, or you ready to go back to school, the first week of school, you got you a fresh, crispy low on. You be looking in that mirror. Don't do no tucking it in Baltimore. We don't tuck our lows in. You know what I mean? With no jeans, unless you might do it with a pair of slacks or something if you going out to an event or something. But you ain't gonna do it with no jeans, nothing like that. That ain't how we do that thing. Then you had dudes or crews who were competing, who had the most polo, who had the most low shirts, the most low hats. You know what I mean? We called them the Polo Wars back in the day, you know what I mean? And I won a couple of them wars. I won a few of them battles, man. I had a lot of low. I'm mad I gave some of my stuff away, man, to be honest with you. Because if I would have had all my lows that I had in high school and all that throughout the years, man, it'd have been in the hundreds, man. Hundreds, man. But one thing about Polo in Baltimore, it come in and out. It go in and out. But it never really go nowhere. It never really go nowhere. Because you'll see it here and there sprinkled, you know what I mean, amongst all the happening new things, but it never really fades. One year, man, I think it was like the 8th grade, I think I had like 14, 13 or 14 polo shirts to go back to school with, man. Literally. And I did it on purpose. My mother was trying to get me to wear some other stuff, but I was just so hooked on low at the time. Yeah, this was my childhood brand, man. And as you can see, I still got it. I still wear it. Still wear Polo Ralph Lauren. Still do Ralph, man. But that's something that ain't gonna never change. Ralph always gonna be around. Always gonna be acceptable. I don't have a lot anymore, but I just wanted to show a few pieces. And give y'all a little background on Polo in Baltimore while I was doing it, you know. So